And I guess partially because I opened up that curtain some to have a little bit better airflow. I have a little bit more energy, and I think that's part of what it was. And so we're in part 12. I'm Predada Severer, Beyond Above Deep Black director of the Illuminati, also over director. Um, every once in a while, I gotta mention I'm the president of the Illuminati government, overt president of the Illuminati government, Beyond Above Deep Black Illuminati government. It's called Big. Um, and this is, I think I said already, but part 12 of Before Deciding on a Career Choice. And this is part of the Inner Selves Management series. And so where I left off was, you're thinking about going on the road, and you're trying to figure out if the money that you're going to have from selling your house, or if you didn't have a house and you just have a job, whatever the money is you're functioning off of, which isn't maybe an ongoing source of income, maybe it's just money you have saved up or whatever. I'm saying to you, don't just go jump on a road like that. Even if you've got an apartment, if somehow you can build your bus at your apartment complex, then do that. Don't try to like these other people you see doing, because A, nobody's situation is the same. B, these people do these things you see, and which I'll use the word annoys me. And I'll say annoys me in most part because I don't make any money off of YouTube. So if you ever listen to, there's a rap group called the Locks. They used to be called the Warlocks, but then they were called the Locks, and they were under Bad Boy Entertainment. And so in one of their first albums, might have been the first album, at least the first commercial album, they had this guy called the Mad Rapper. And so he'd be like, I'm not getting the money like the guy's getting. I got like 7 albums, and he out here making videos and driving cars and buying houses. And it's like, you can't fault the Mad Rapper because he's right. It's like nobody don't want to buy his stuff, and his stuff is fire too. And said, but nobody wants to buy it. And so what I'm saying to you is, you got this apartment, and you want to make the bus, you want to get out there on the road, and you need to be able to do that before you get out there. And people are making these videos like, oh, I just threw in a bed and threw in a compost toilet and threw in a solar panel on a roof and stuff, and qualified to get it registered as a motorhome. And we've been building everything since then, and we're just having a ball. And it's not true. It's not true at all. Now, people will make it seem true that everything is kosher with that, but then you'll see years later, they'll make videos, or even months later, they'll make videos and say, things I would have done differently. Or, I don't like bus life anymore because of this, this, and this. And it's because they either started it out wrong, or they did these things that it didn't seem so bad when they did it, but it somehow ends up kicking them in the behind later on in some way, shape, or form. Or at the very least, tallying up as if they had done this differently from the door, then their situation would be better than it is at that moment. And so I say these things and nobody watches my videos. I'm not making any money on YouTube yet. I hope I can use the word yet. But people people got millions and hundreds of thousands and tens of thousands of subscribers, and they're making an income and living off of that income and being on the road, and people donating buses to. Somebody donated a bus to somebody because they had a cat, and he was like, I didn't like the vehicle you had before because it wasn't good enough for your cat, and I'm buying you a bus, not for you but for your cat, because your cat shouldn't have to live like that. Should I even go down this road? And I do understand how, I do understand the value of animals versus humans. I seriously feel the same way. But it's just that I know me. I know what I'm going through and what I've been through and what I'm going to continue to go through. And no matter what I say or do, it's not going to change. And it's not going to change the way any of you think or feel. It's not going to change your actions, the way you, whatever towards me, except badly. And it's not going to change the government. It's not going to change the world. None of these things are going to change. But everything I'm saying is right and true. To say that I'm going through all of this and not one person has ever reached out and said, hey, you, bro, just, you know what? I'm buying you a motorhome because you want to save the world. Because you straightened everybody out according to what, with regards to what the Illuminati is. Because everybody was going down this path and it was starting to affect other secret societies and secret societies in general and the whole concept of them in general. Nobody's come back to thank me about any of that. Nobody's come back to have my back about any of that. Nothing has happened in my life that to improve my life. My life's just gotten steadily worse. The more I tell people I'm in this organization or these organizations or whatever, the worse my life gets. And part of that is people, yeah, he's crazy. You look at him, he's an old black guy. He's poor, and he's losing his teeth, and his hair, and all this stuff. And no, something's wrong with him, and stay away from it. And they don't want to have nothing to do with him. And let's do this bad thing to him because of this. If I was a Caucasian man, rich, poor, teeth falling out, whatever the hell, people would be like, oh, here, take this. Give it. Look, he wants to save the world. Let's help him start a cult. Do you need a facility? We're Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. We don't use this one anymore. Here, you can have it. You can start a cult over there. You said you're God? Oh my God. Look, everybody, that's God. He's really the one that's God. Let's give him some money. Yeah, here, throw some donation at it. I want to pay some tithes. You got any room for some more tithe? I'm a billionaire. Here, get some money. Nothing. I get nothing. In 20 years from now, I'll get nothing. Nothing from nobody. I won't even get a smile from a child, which is a beautiful thing. I won't even get a smile from a child. Maybe I'll get lucky and they'll smile at me by mistake because they'll be laughing at me in their head and it'll just come out as a smile. But anyway, so people sit there and they be like, oh, I just jump on the road. So I'm telling you, no, don't do that. You have a house, you have an apartment, you have a friend's house, you have your parents' house. Build your thing out and contribute to the area that you're using to build, such that once you're not there anymore, people will appreciate what you did, and you will have appreciated. Meaning, the word appreciate means to make something be more valuable. It doesn't mean, oh, I like what you did. That's not what it means. Appreciate means you're gonna take something that happened and make it more valuable in some way, shape, or form. Just like that. I appreciate my wife. That doesn't mean you like your wife. That means what she is and what she's about, you're doing and making steps to make her better, to grow whatever that is about her that's great. It applies to people, places, and things. Nouns. Applies to nouns. See, kids, I can teach you stuff too. Anyway, so where was I at? Okay, so you want to develop a stream of income, develop streams, say 3, and you want to, if at all possible, build out whatever you're going to get before you get on the road. Now, I don't want to jump into too much of the build stuff because that ends up being, talking like a build series, like what you should pick and all these things like people make videos about. I'm trying to stay focused. See, we're in 12, which is, I think I'm doing good. I'm not trying to end it at 13 because I want all of my series to be open-ended. As I learn things, you guys learn things. But to at least get 13 right now, because that'll reach my number of the number of gigs I have to eat up, so I'm not leaving this company saying, oh, yeah, he only used this amount of gigs and he still had 2 or 3 left and we're in the good. No, because I don't like the fact that people say unlimited and it's not true. I want to use all of them up right to the last gig if possible every month, as long as it doesn't hurt me to try to do that. So I don't sit here 2 or 3 months from now like they got over on me by a certain amount of gigs, which is what's been going on. Everybody just keeps freaking getting over on me my whole life in little tiny ways. In your life too, but in mine, I notice it, or a lot of it, maybe more than the general population or even people who are, enlightened. Say it like that. And so when we deal with the career part, it's like, okay, You're going to be on the road, and this is the starting point. Look at this. This is the starting point, 12. You're going to be on the road. You're going to be in something, living in something. I saw that there was this video where a lady put a hair salon in a bus. People do different things. Food, they take, okay, to take the buses, they make them into food trucks or any of these things like this. If they're not living in them also bothers me, bothers us. Because again, you're taking it away from someone who needed a place to live. That's what's going on. All of that whole arena, the auctions, how cheap buses were, that's illumination. It would take me 20 videos to explain it fully, but the short version of this is the Illuminati is a force. I've said it before, say it again. The Illuminati is a force. We are not an organization. We are organized entities, which according to mankind, you call organizations. So you call that a secret society. Okay, the light coming from the sun is not a secret society, but mankind could make it a secret society. The soul society, the sun society, and he sees people who worship the sun. Okay, no, light coming from the sun is light, it's lumi. That's illumination. L without the IL. Illuminati is we don't tell people our business, typically. And so that's that light, but it's hidden. The hidden light, the hidden knowledge, it gets deeper than that. But so the Illuminati is the light that created all things. It originated before light did. I don't want to go that deep into it, but I'm just trying to say that, where was I? Because I lost my train of thought. I'm just trying to say that. I lost my train of thought. I'll jump back to where I was with the bus thing. So now you're about to jump on the road and you're like, oh, okay, well, I need to be making money. And like I said, there was this girl who had the dog grooming, not the dog grooming, but the hair thing. Some people use it for dog grooming businesses. Some people use it for food trucks. But if they're not living in it, then it's not a good thing. So I was right there. Okay, so not good because you're taking it from someone who needs it to live in. You're progressing the whole bus life thing if you're buying it to live in and to work in. And if that means you're no longer, say, living in a house unless the house is property. Like if you own the property too, and it's, it took you, years and stuff to, get the property and the house and all these things. This is what I'll say about this part. You busted your behind to get that done. And I respect you for that. We respect you for that. We appreciate the effort you put into that. Now, the issue is houses are not strong. Facilities are. Houses do not have the facilities within them to do things like build buses, stock supplies, things that you might sell online or things that you might need. Things that are going to help save and protect the world, like a military base. A military base is what things should be like. Or, a warehouse, a factory. These things have multiple uses. You can live in them, you can build things, and so on. So you're taking this specific amount of space and you're making excellent use of it. It's actually part of the basis of the whole bus life thing, where people say simplicity and downsizing and minimalism. And okay, I just want to say minimalism is not a part of bus life or any of that. That is something someone made up because when they had to go stay inside of a bus, they had a whole bunch of stuff they shouldn't have had in the first place, or just excesses of things that had no value, which is things they shouldn't have had in the first place. And they didn't have nowhere to put it inside of 300 or so square feet. And so, yeah, I got rid of my grand piano and my collection of glass blow up things because I was trying to be a minimalist. And no, you're just getting rid of stuff you didn't really need that probably shouldn't have existed in the first place. But someone manufactured because it would appeal to someone like you, and you would spend your money on it, where you probably spent more money on that than a poor man has had in the past couple of years, or maybe in some poor people's entire lives. You have a collection of things that are worth someone's in every bit of money they've ever had in their entire life, or more than they could ever make in a year. So you're not a minimalist. It's not about minimalism. It's about having things that are necessary to have, and having the properties available to you where you can store them. So for instance, we have here, and this is, I think, perfect going off into 13 in a few minutes. We have here the Earth. I don't get to say this enough also. This planet is like a giant spaceship. It's like women. You can't live with it, can't live without it. So, hold on. So, you have this planet, right? Now let's liken this planet to a property. And let's put it in cave days, before they were building houses. And when Anunnaki came here, and they live in underwater caves anyway, and they're aliens and they're super rich in their own way, so but they still live in caves. So we'll say it like this. So, the cave is like a house. The planet's like a piece of property. And, you didn't buy it, you didn't pay for it. But, when someone says, okay, well, he's talking about living in UFOs, but now he's talking about he's likening a cave to a house or to a facility and property to land that you own. But he just finished saying you should get rid of the land. No, you're misconstruing what I'm saying based on the fact that I haven't been able to throw all of the words and sentences at you, which would completely clear this for you. And I've asked a lot of you, not a lot of you people, but I've asked a lot of you for you to read between the lines. If you're of the frame of mind of bus life and things like this, then you can read between those lines. If not, then I have to say it like this. You have to have, okay, according to the law, some form of address, physical address, right? Now, there's mailboxes, etc. People know about that. There's another place, I forgot what it's called. But, that's somewhere where you can't live. It's not somewhere where you could build your bus or build buses to make it a form of income, or even where people can come with their bus or whatever and say, hey, listen, I've been thinking about doing this to it. And not only because they want to make it look better or be better for them, but maybe they got a contract with NASA, and NASA said, hey, we're trying to, do this thing in space for things to be better. I'm using NASA for an example. And so you got a contract, and it's going to provide you with money. Hey, look, money. And you're going to be doing something good. Hey, look, something good. And you're going to be doing something to save the world or save, whatever. And that's a good thing, right? These are all good things. And so, but you need this thing put on. So you need somewhere someone will put it, but not taking it to some place where it's just like some regular mechanic, and they're looking, oh, I'm going to make $250 an hour off this guy. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, what I'm doing, but I'll watch YouTube videos and figure it out and beat him over the head. So you're not doing that. You're going to someone who's in the arena, who's in the same frame of mind. And it's like, look, this is what I'm trying to do. And you two can put your heads together. Okay, I'm a dude, I'm going to say this different. You two can put your minds together, and you can figure out not only how you can get it done, right? But on the end of the person who's building it, they can make the facility such that if someone else wants to do something similar or whatever, that they'll be equipped for it. And so, when you let that happen for these people, just regular mechanics out in the street, nah, they're not part of this. They don't care about none of this. You're just helping to make more money to promote whatever they're doing. And if they're not good people, then you see where this is going, because the world is full of all of that. So I'm going to get back to you in the next video.